WJR traffic and weather first.
We've got some slow traffic on I-94 westbound between Connor Street and Van Dyke. Moving roadwork blocking your two right lanes on I-75 southbound near Eureka Road. That's causing stop-and-go traffic from North Line Road. More repairs going on I-94 eastbound at 9 Mile. That's blocking your right lane. You're slow from Vernier. The right lane will be blocked through Friday for emergency repairs there. And we still have that wreck on the northbound Southfield Freeway after Grand River. That's blocking your right shoulder. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Overcast with rain showers this afternoon, a high of 68. Cloudy with periods of rain early tonight, a low of 46. A rainy morning for Friday, a cloudy afternoon with a high of 52. I'm Rich Bluzensky, WJR traffic and weather first.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really worked so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Think about the things that make Michigan special. It's more than just our Great Lakes and our skyline. It's the way we show up for each other when the snow piles up or when a neighbor needs a hand. April is National Volunteer Month, a time to celebrate the people who give their time to keep our community strong. But more than a celebration, it's an invitation. Whether it's mentoring a student in Detroit, cleaning up a trail in the UP, or helping out a local food pantry, your time is the most valuable thing you can give. Volunteering isn't just about the work, it's about the connection. It's about realizing that we have the power to solve problems right here in our own backyard. When you volunteer, you aren't just changing a life, you're strengthening the very fabric of our state. There are thousands of opportunities in your community waiting for you right now. Find a cause that matches your passion and your schedule, and make your mark.
When you get a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease, think real.
And the Parkinson's Foundation has real answers. Go to parkinson.org or call our helpline at 1-800-4PD-INFO.
It's more than news. It's a conversation. This is JR Afternoon on WJR. Here's Ryan Ermanni.
I had the microphone off. I can already tell how this day is going to go. Hey, everybody. I'm just getting settled over here. My goodness, what in the world is happening on this Thursday, April 9, 2026? I see that I have something happening on the YouTube channel. Is something in the way here, Beth Ann?
Something's covering your camera.
What is covering? Oh, it's closed. My camera was closed. There you go. You can see me now. Can you see me now? It's been one of those days, ladies and gentlemen, on this Thursday, April 9th. I don't know if this is the weather or not. First and foremost, I've been running today. It's all good. But I do have a little bit of breaking news that I can say. I successfully took an elevator ride, ladies and gentlemen, today. Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
So Beth Ann and I were busy earlier. We were recording a couple of different things, and I was running from Fox 2. I got here. I got to the building, did what I had to do, and then I said, Beth Ann, please, is there any food in this building? Because I don't spend a ton of time at the Fisher Building, so I don't know my ins and outs. I come straight up to the floor here, WJR, and
you're very in and out.
Yes, I'm very in and out when it comes to the building at the Fisher Building. But Beth Ann successfully said, yes, there is plenty of food here, but it will require an elevator ride. And if you don't know, I am claustrophobic. I got stuck in an elevator once, and it ruined my whole thing. So if there's 5 floors or lower, I will walk. But there's no way I was walking this. So we got in the elevator. Beth Ann took me. We got a sandwich, and it was great.
You did perfect. It went nice and easy. We were in there maybe 30 seconds.
Oh, wait. And then Dietz came in with us.
Yes, you should not have told Kevin Dietz that you were afraid of elevators.
Wait a minute. Dietz. So my main man, Kevin Dietz, who you can hear each day, 9 a.m. until noon on All Talk right here on WJR, he starts messing with me a little bit. And I said, please, Kevin, don't mess with me like that. It's so funny. But, we project this big, strong men type situation, football player, baseball player, can't take a freaking elevator. I mean, what a baby, right? What an absolute baby I am. But I survived, and it's all good. I survived the elevator ride, 2026. So, Beth Ann, thanks so much. And Danielle Mason is here as well. And here we go. I do want some truly breaking news that just happened, by the way. Let me see if I can pull this up. President Trump is telling NBC News that he is, quote, very optimistic that a deal can be reached with Iran, and that the leaders for Iran talk very differently in private than they do publicly. Now, you can say what you want about that, but that's what President Trump is saying. Maybe they talk kind of like Putin. Vladimir Putin talks much differently in private than he does in public as well. And what he does in public is much different from what he says. But the good news is the president appears, at least he tells NBC News, that he is, quote, very optimistic that a deal could be reached with Iran. In Pakistan this weekend, there is going to be in-person talks. The participants have been announced. Vice President J.D. Vance, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. For Iran, it will be their parliament speaker, Mohammad Ghalibaf, and foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi. And I think one of the interesting things there was the United States military has killed all of Iran's leadership. So who are you dealing with when it comes to Iran? And we've got that answer now, but the president says he's very optimistic a deal can get done. We know the participants that will be in Pakistan on the ground, direct face-to-face talks over the weekend, and the hope is that a deal can get done. More on that coming up, but I want to go to Marie Osborne right now because locally, a little bit closer to home, police are calling them a crime-fighting tool. Critics have expressed invasion of privacy concerns. This was a big deal last night at the city council meeting. The Oakland County Sheriff's Department will begin using drones, and WJR's Marie Osborne reports not everyone is happy about it. Those rooms were filled last night at the city council meeting, Marie.
It was very tense last night, how you described it, a heated meeting last night. The Oakland County Board of Commissioners narrowly approved a trial program that would allow sheriff's deputies to use drones when they respond to 911 calls. The plan sets up a 9-month test partnership with a private technology company to deploy unmanned aircraft during certain emergencies. County officials say the pilot program comes at no cost, though continuing the program would carry a multi-million-dollar price tag. And of course, the county would have to pay for that. The sheriff's office already operates drones as part of its emergency response, most for missing persons and mental health calls, and says aircraft are only launched after a call for service. Residents packed this meeting. They were voicing strong opposition. They raised concerns about privacy, data security, the company's track record in other communities. And then tensions flared when the public comment was moved until after the vote. They didn't like that. So the commissioners did add language requiring all the data collected to remain under the sheriff's office control, not the vendors. Ryan, this pilot is to begin immediately.
I'm a big appearance guy, and it just appears like to be so unsavory that they move the public comment till after the public comment. You know why everybody is in that room. You know what they're there for. To not give them the common courtesy to speak before you go on the record and make your vote, I think is a miss.
A really big miss. I heard one audio clip from a woman last night who said that there were like 3,000 signatures that they had collected against this proposed action, and that a large portion of the board was still voting for this. And she said, "You're supposed to represent us. What are you doing? You're supposed to represent us." So, I mean, these are serious questions that citizens are asking of this Oakland County Board of Commissioners. So you are completely right. They should have never moved. What use is it after the vote?
There's no doubt, and it just gives the impression as well. And Marie, you nailed it. I mean, you are up there working for us. What does it say when you have all of those people packing into a room? We don't care what you're about to say. We're going to go ahead and do what we want to do anyway. And if you do have some concerns, those concerns should be, people go, we talk about process all the time, and people go through the right process to go sign their name, show up to a council meeting, share their public comment during a very public meeting. And to not give people that voice, I think is wrong. And I really hope this works out the right way, or the way it's supposed to do. And it's not even about being for or against this drone program. It's about the process and the appearance. It stinks. It stinks in my view.
Yeah, it was a bad look. I agree with you 100% on that.
Marie, you're the best. We'll talk to you. We're going to get an update on that local woman from Michigan as well. Just a terrible story and a shocking update. Well, not too shocking, I guess, if you're following the story, but we'll talk to you at 3:00, Marie. Thank you. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, there's lots to get to locally here. We talk so much about the president, what's going on with Iran. We're going to do that. But locally, there's some big news regarding state politics as well. We're going to talk to Craig Mauger, a little bit of a rapid fire discussion with him, cover state politics for the Detroit News. We'll go through a series of different issues happening in our state. We'll do that next. 760 WJR.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Harry Johnson's rising, gonna take a stand for families and freedom across this land. No income tax saving us that dough. 4747 gives us room to grow. From the fields to the city. People cheer. People cheer. With Perry in the lead. Got nothing to fear. So here's to the future, let's make it bright. Barry Johnson's lead, we'll win this fight. Together in Michigan, well, the new dawn will rise. With a true conservative, yeah, well, let's reach for the sky.
This message paid for by Perry Johnson, our governor, because we must implement the mega audit to eliminate the waste and return the money to the taxpayers.
Is the 340B program working? Listen to a special WJR Spotlight with Paul W. Smith and Elizabeth Cutter, Vice President and General Counsel for the Michigan Health and Hospital Association, to discuss it. WJR Spotlight 340B, Thursday at 6 p.m., sponsored by the MHA.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Weingarts. When you think about equipment that's built to last, John Deere is always at the top of the list. You'll find them at Weingarts, where they stand behind what they sell. Visit Weingarts.com to learn more. That's the Weingarts way. Construction blocks your right lane on I-94 eastbound at 9 Mile. That's causing stop-and-go traffic from Vernier. Those emergency repairs will be with us through Friday. We also have an accident on the northbound Southfield Freeway after Grand River. That's blocking your right shoulder. Police are on the scene. And the I-75 southbound off-ramp to westbound I-696 is closed for construction until mid-June. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by University of Michigan's Michigan Creative. Support for Michigan Public comes from the University of Michigan's Look to Michigan campaign, working to solve global challenges through developing new technologies to charge EVs 5 times faster and design buildings with 72% less concrete. Learn more at umich.edu/look. Here's your forecast.
Windy with scattered showers today as the high gets close to 70. More rain may develop overnight with a low in the mid-40s, and cooler with rain on Friday as the high hits the mid-50s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Jeff Marr on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Coming up Friday on JR Morning, we'll hear all about the new program for travelers on the Gordie Howe Bridge. We'll talk Pistons and find out about gas prices and how to get your weekend off to a great start. 6 until 9 right here on WJR, WJR.com, and the free WJR app.
.760 WJR. So much going on in local politics, and one of the guys that covers it all for the Detroit News, covers state politics, is Craig Mauger. And Craig, I don't believe I've ever had the pleasure of having you on the show. I know you're on WJR all the time with some of the other hosts, so I really appreciate the time and great to talk to you.
It's an honor to be on. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Let's start with over the last 12 hours or so with the Republican GOP. John James not going to appear at the April 30th primary debate. The Oakland County GOP not very happy about that. I don't believe, according to some of the particulars involved, James ever agreed to be there. But nonetheless, the Oakland County GOP wants him there. What do you make of this whole situation?
I mean, it's a wild development. I mean, the infighting that's playing out on social media, not a ton of voters are going to see that, but it's still symbolic of kind of this divide within the Republican Party, where you have a lot of important people who are becoming increasingly frustrated with the way U.S. Representative John James is running his campaign. And again, voters might not be seeing that, but that reverberates throughout the entire thing. I mean, these are people that are becoming mad at John that have influence over other people, and he's taking a risk. I mean, he told voters early on in this campaign that he would probably do some debates. That was the indication that maybe after the filing deadline. Well, the filing deadline in Michigan is coming up here in a couple weeks. This Oakland County debate is after the filing deadline. So I think the Oakland County Republicans thought that our debate's after the filing deadline. We're an important county party, the second largest county in the state. He's going to do this debate. And when they found out, it doesn't look like he's going to do this debate, I think they were very frustrated, and that's what's playing out now.
I can, and I hate to, I certainly don't mean to walk the fence on this, but I can see absolutely both sides here for doing this. I can completely understand John James for not wanting to share the stage with 5 other people, maybe wait until you could whittle it down a little bit more. And I can absolutely understand the Oakland County GOP saying, hey, we are the largest county of Republicans in our state. We believe you owe it to the voters to come share your thoughts. Who will win out here? What side do you think will be heard from the most as far as this goes?
There's no risk for the Oakland County GOP. They're not running for office, so there's not a lot at stake for them. John's the only person that has potential downside here. I mean, if he makes some Republicans mad who want to see him be more aggressive in showing up at these debates, that could cost him votes in what's becoming a pretty competitive primary with Perry Johnson running tens of millions of dollars in advertisements and showing up all over the state. I mean, this is the potential risk. I mean, is there a narrative taking shape that John is avoiding engaging with these other GOP candidates? I mean, he might not see some of these other candidates as a threat, but a lot of these other candidates have been involved in the party for a very, very long time. And there are voters who like them. They might not vote for them, who knows, but they do like them, and they view them as people. Many of them view them as people that John should be engaging with and should be debating. So, I mean, I think it's a risk for John to continue to not do these forums and debates, but sometimes that pays off. Sometimes, not engaging and subjecting yourself to the criticism publicly does pay off. Other times it doesn't.
It's so interesting you use that word risk, because I feel like that was one of the themes of my show yesterday when I was talking to Michigan Senate candidate Abdul El Sayed, who campaigned with Hassan Piker, and whether or not people think that he should disavow Piker or campaign with him, he has probably gotten more attention from that than at any point throughout the last several months since his candidacy was announced. People play out strategy games. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And this is a strategy seemingly of John James here to kind of wait it out a little bit. Would you say that's fair?
I think that's part of it. I think it's also, his campaign views him as a heavy front runner in this race. They've pointed out over and over again the early polling that showed him with just a massive lead. So I think they want to set him apart from the other GOP candidates in the field and kind of act like this is not even a contested primary. The problem for them is that Perry Johnson got in the race, and now he's spending all this money. His poll numbers are going up. There are some signs of momentum for him. And if this race becomes, more and more competitive between Perry and John, already acting like you're advancing to the general election might backfire.
Talking to Craig Mauger, the state political reporter for the Detroit News. Craig, what impact, and just to go back to something that you said at the start of the interview, what impact will this have? Here we sit in April. I mean, we've got months before the actual primary votes will take place. We're probably going to have more primary debates. What actually, and I know this looks bad now, and there's some infighting now, but what impact do you believe this will have come primary season when the dust is settled and we are into August a little bit here? What impact do you think it'll have?
I mean, a lot of it depends on if Representative James is going to do other debates. I mean, I think if he consistently says, no, I'm not doing any of these and I'm not going to engage in this primary race, I'm going to try to win this on what I've done in the past, win it on some smaller meetings with voters across the state, win it on his record in Congress. I mean, if that's how he approaches it, that could be a real challenge. It really could, because I think there are Republicans out there, and I think Democrats out there right now. I mean, this is something that I'm hearing from people on both sides of the aisle. They want candidates who are going to be fighters, go out there and fight it out and win. I mean, I think Donald Trump has really embodied that on the GOP side. There's a lot of Democrats who say they want a fighter who can go out there and take on Trump. If you are not showing up for debate, if the voters believe you're not engaging and not willing to test yourself by, facing the opposition down person to person, that's a potential problem for him because, you don't want this narrative to really take full shape around the state that you're avoiding the spotlight, you're avoiding these debates with your opponents. I mean, that's a risk. It's hard to predict. It's hard for me to predict what's going to happen next week, much more than what will happen in August. But we'll see. I mean, I think there are risks all over the place for all these candidates.
Let me ask you about earlier this week with candidate Abdul El Sayed. You covered that. Yeah. He's gotten national attention for campaigning with Hassan Piker. What impact do you think that will have here in the state of Michigan during primary season?
It's really interesting that now this is like a 3-day long national story. I mean, the national news outlets are still talking about this. I think you very smartly pointed out that this has gotten a lot of attention for Abdul El Sayed. The question for Abdul, and I asked him this earlier this week, is how does he get beyond just that progressive base of voters, maybe those voters who are interested in Hassan Piker and do like what he's saying? That's probably not enough voters in itself to win a 3-way primary race in Michigan. Last time he ran for governor, he was kind of capped out just under 30% in his race against Governor Whitmer and Shreve Thanedar. So how does he grow that? And he hasn't exactly demonstrated how he's going to grow that number where he could get to maybe 35 or 36% and actually win this primary. I mean, that is the question looming over his campaign. How does he expand his his contingent here? I think the attention will be interesting to see if that led to fundraising support for him. I mean, these races are heavily dependent on money. It's definitely made this race take a turn toward the negative with all the fighting that's been going on between the 3 candidates' campaigns and supporters recently. This race is just in a fascinating place right now.
Hey, Craig, I got less than a minute left. There's a million things I'd love to talk to you about, but one topic in particular. Do you believe Senator Slotkin will run for president in 2028?
I'm not going to predict that, but I think she's making all the moves to indicate she wants to do it. I mean, being in Iowa, traveling all over the nation.
Doing the Bill Maher show, the real time, a couple of weeks ago.
She's very interested in growing her national kind of name ID. She has the military experience. She knows how to talk to voters who are in the middle. She's very good at winning over independents. That's not what primary campaigns are traditionally about. It's about the diehard Democrats, how you get them in your corner. So that will be something new for her. But she's testing the waters, obviously. She wants to test it, see what kind of support she might be able to get. And, how will Governor Whitmer respond to this? That's a question I want to know. Is she also interested in this? And can they both coexist?
That is a conversation I'd love to have with you further. We'll keep it going, my friend. Thanks so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you having me on. Thank
you got it. Greg Mauger, Detroit News. We'll be right back, 760 WJR.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
News updates anytime at WJR.com.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. Iran is still reportedly limiting ship traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. Maryland Democratic Representative Glenn Ivey criticizing the president for saying he might join Iran in charging a toll on ships passing through that strait.
It's a bargaining chip for them that they're going to use. And instead of saying, nope, you got to put it back to its free passage again, he's talking about working with them and splitting. That's outrageous. I just think that's crazy.
Despite those comments, the White House says the president opposes tolls on the critical shipping lane. Georgia Republican Clay Fuller defeating Democrat Sean Harris to fill the seat vacated by former Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. The congressman-elect on Fox says he's confident going into November.
Obviously, one thing that people aren't talking about is this was a special election. And so turnout was different in a special election than our normal primary. So we're looking forward to continuing to win this thing and dominate this race heading into November.
America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Sponsored by NECA, IBEW Local 58. Count on the Powering Michigan team of IBEW 58 skilled electricians and NECA signatory contractors for your next commercial, industrial, public, or residential construction project. The best electricians, the best electrical contractors, period. Learn more at poweringmichigansfuture.com. We still have that wreck on the northbound Southfield Freeway after Grand River Avenue. That's blocking your right shoulder. Police are on the scene. Construction blocking your left lane on the Lodge southbound between Glendale and Webb Street. We also have construction on I-94 eastbound at 9 Mile. You're slow from Allard Avenue. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Overcast with rain showers this afternoon. A little bit of sunshine peeking in here or there. A high of 68. Cloudy with periods of rain early tonight. A low of 46. A rainy morning for Friday. A cloudy afternoon with a high of 52. Right now, it's cloudy and 65 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Hey, gang, it's Ryan Ermanni. I want to tell you about my friends at Paramount Roofing. You know, living in Michigan, April and May and March, the spring months, that's when we finally figure out what winter has done to our homes. All the snow, all the ice, all the wind. It has taken a toll on our roof. That's why I want to tell you about Paramount Roofing. When I met with the owner, Eric Reno, and his team, they showed me how to make the whole process incredibly easy. All you need to do is visit weareroofing.com. You're going to get an instant free roof quote. No waiting, no pressure, just real information. What I love is their approach. Everything is built to last and backed for life. And they truly deliver a 5-star roofing experience made easy from start to finish. If you are worried about the time of the project or the budget of this, don't. Paramount Roofing offers no money down plus 5 years, 0% interest, which makes protecting your home or your business a whole lot more manageable. Spring is here, Michigan. Paramount Roofing covers properties from residential to commercial and everywhere in between. Now is the time to check on that roof. Get your instant free quote today at weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com. Paramount Roofing.
You could file your taxes on a basic free service, which is fine. But are you okay with fine? Because when it's your money on the line, do you really want to guess if you missed a credit or hope the math is right? Get the confidence of TurboTax for free right on the Intuit Credit Karma app. Free Fed and free state for simple 1040s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code ACTIVE for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ACTIVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's ACTIVE.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Hey there, JR listeners. Chris Alberta from Principium. Look, I have an urgent message for you today about your retirement. I don't care if you already retired, you're a few months away, or you're a few years away. You're going to be unemployed soon. And you probably don't have a pension because you are your pension. Recent all-time highs in the market. Look, you're at the top of the mountain. And now we're in an Iranian conflict. AI might replace your job. And like it or not, you could be retired as long as you were working. But despite all that, is the best time I have ever seen in my career to build you a retirement plan. The fixed rates are unbelievably good. Income models are killing it. You combine that with top-notch market management, and you're going to win. If you wait, you will lose. These rates will go down. You remember the 4% rule? My clients are using the 7% rule. They'll always have a paycheck, and that's freedom. Don't wait. Call me now, 888-800-8949. Call me, Chris Alberta, 888-800-8949.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I've been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You drive past them every day. The historic buildings, the monuments, the landmarks. But do you know the secrets they hold? Every iconic corner of our city has an untold story. From the surprising history of the Detroit salt mines to the legends who rocked the Grandee Ballroom and the true legacy of the Joe Louis Fist. It's time to look closer. Join historian Dr. Robert Livernoy as he uncovers the fascinating truths lying just beneath the surface on the Hidden in Plain Sight podcast. Find Hidden in Plain Sight with Dr. Robert Livernoy at thegreatvoice.com.
Everyone's text.
Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
760 WJR. I want to thank Craig Mauger from the Detroit News for joining us. I could have talked to Craig for an hour because there is so much going on locally. And obviously, if you are paying attention, if you're on social media, if you're in the political world, which many of you that listen to this show are, you're news aware, you're politics aware, you know that there is some infighting. I even hate to say infighting because, look, there's people that disagree on how to go about an election season, an election cycle. John James, as of right now, I don't know if that's going to change or not, but it does not appear that he will be at the Republican gubernatorial primary debate on April 30th. That will feature Perry Johnson and Eric Nesbitt and Mike Cox and Tom Leonard and the others that are running. 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. Everything in politics is a risk. And you weigh whether or not it is worth taking the risk for James to go out there and essentially have a 5-on-1 is a potential risk. Not showing up is a potential risk. Abdul El Sayed campaigning with Hassan Piker is a risk. Not campaigning with him is a risk. And I don't mean to conflate showing up to a debate, primary debate, when you are the front runner and campaigning with a lunatic is the same thing. But the word risk, the assessment you have to take as a campaign, regardless of what the example is, that is weighed heavily. Now, I completely understand the Oakland County GOP being very frustrated about it too. I mean, it is the largest Republican population by county that we have in our state. They want their front runner, the front runner, to show up. So I understand the frustration on that end too. And what this boils down to is impact. What impact will this have? Even for James, I mean, does this open the door for Perry Johnson to be the guy at that debate to kind of get his name out there? He is all over the place. I mean, the billboards, the television, the radio, the cell phone ads. I mean, my phone gets blown up at least once a day from a text from Perry Johnson. Does that have any impact? Will John James not coming to this debate, but perhaps showing up to a debate before the primary in August? Will this even be a thing if we have a debate in August at some point ahead of the primary election. And only time will tell on that. We just don't know. Only time will tell. I hate trying to predict things. Even with the Abdul El Sayed interview yesterday, I hate even trying to predict whether or not this is a good thing or a bad thing. And you may morally disagree with El Sayed, absolutely morally disagree with campaigning with an abhorrent, seemingly person. But at the same time, was that risk worth it for him? He is all over the place nationally. And it has become a 3-day story. So, all votes count as one. Unless you got 7 mail-in ballots in the mail. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But all votes count as one. Whether it's from a lunatic or somebody that is a little bit educated on what they are voting on. Let me get to Vince in Northville. You're on 760 WJR. Hi, Vince.
Hey, sir. How are you?
Doing good, buddy. How about you?
I'm doing awesome, man. Sun's out, and we're just moving around. But I'm really looking at this Perry Johnson guy in a different light. I think what could potentially happen, and all the other candidates right now running for governor basically have the same playbook. Okay, this is what we're going to do for you, okay, if you vote for us. But I'm really stepping back. I'm taking a look at this man. I've been reading about him. I've been reading about his career. It's very, very impressive. And I think with a Perry Johnson as a potential governor, I think you would have a replay of Donald Trump and Doge, but you'd have it on a state level here in the state of Michigan. And if any state in the union is primed for a full-out audit, it would be the state of Michigan. I think with Perry Johnson, what he wants to do, audit every department. And I think I'm going to be voting for him because he really makes a lot of sense. A lot of this stuff needs to be brought to light, and I think he's just the man to do it.
Well, you know what? You're going to have that opportunity to hear from Perry Johnson himself and the others that are at the debate on April 30th, and you will probably get to see another one before August. And you should inform yourself on all candidates who are running for office. I absolutely encourage everybody that places a vote to do your research on the candidates who are actually running for office. And Vince, it sounds like you're leaning one way, but yeah, I'd encourage you to do the homework. Good for you.
I like Duggan for what Duggan has done for Detroit. Okay, and he's in your trenches, get it done. But still in all, I mean, Vince, we need to know where the money's going.
Vince, I appreciate it. I agree with you. We do need to know where the money's going, and hopefully you'll get an audit regardless of who the governor is coming up next year. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to take a look at this war in Iran, and I'm going to play for you some audio from Chuck Schumer that will knock your socks off. 760 WJR.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. The sun is shining at Augusta National. Haven't had a drop of rain all week, and the course is fiery in the first round. Patrick Reed just found out. The 2018 Masters champion was putting a nice round together, 4 under through 14. Eagles at 2 and 8, hoping for another at the par 5 15th. And from 265 yards in the fairway, he smashed his wood, twirled the club even. The ball landed on the green and just kept rolling and rolling some more beyond the green and into the water beyond the tee box at 16. So Reed in a lot of trouble right now. At the moment, he's one shot back of Sam Burns, who leads at 5 under, only one slip up so far from the former LSU Tiger, a bogey at 6. Burns is now playing 18. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Masters on Westwood One.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. Choose. Would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Two-time Masters champion Scottie Scheffler off to a great start here in the first round. An eagle at 2, a curving left-to-right putt from about 15 feet there at the par 5 to open up his day. And so Scheffler 2 under and 3 off the lead. As we check the leaderboard, sponsored by Gusto. Gusto is online payroll and benefits software built for small businesses. Sam Burns at 5 under, playing the last. Patrick Reed 1 back for now at 4 under through 14. Kurt Kitayama in the clubhouse at 3 under, a 69 for Kitayama, who had birdies late in his round at 15 and 17. Shane Lowry, Jason Day, Tommy Fleetwood, Aaron Rye, also at 3 under right now. At 2 under and 3 back, along with Scheffler, Nick Taylor, Xander Schauffele, Rory McIlroy, who is through 12, the defending champion. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich. West
Hennion and Walsh was made for people like you. People who value speaking to the right people at the right time. That's why we answer the phone ourselves, to understand you and help you invest for the life you want, because you've earned it. We're Hennion and Walsh, and a human connection. Get a second opinion. Call 800-279-5279 or find us online. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Hennion and Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Hennion and Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
We've got some moving roadwork blocking your right lane on I-94 westbound between Gratiot and Telegraph. Some more construction on I-94 eastbound at 9 Mile. It's stop and go from Allard Avenue there. Your right lane will be blocked through Friday for emergency repairs. And that accident on the northbound Southfield Freeway after Grand River Avenue is cleared. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
The high on this Thursday will approach 70 with gusty winds out of the south and southwest and a few showers. More rain develops overnight with a low in the mid-40s and a wet and cooler Friday with rain at a high of 56. On the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Jeff Marr on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
All right, 760 WJR. Top of the hour at 2 o'clock. We told you that President Trump is telling NBC News that he is, quote, very optimistic that a deal can get done with Iran over the weekend. The president is sending a team to negotiate with Iran to Pakistan on Saturday. And, it's just interesting how this whole situation has been reported about, talked about, and specifically over the last 24, 48 hours or so, with the 8 o'clock deadline that was looming, where the president, used some pretty strong language on Easter with the F-bomb. He also, said he was going to wipe out an entire civilization of people will die if ... That was never going to happen. That didn't happen. But the reaction to that has been kind of interesting to me because, and I said this yesterday, if the president were to, quote unquote, wipe out an entire civilization, Democrats were going to try to invoke or call for the 25th Amendment. he backs down, essentially, and that is seen as Taco Trump, always backing down. It is very clear, in my opinion, that the Democratic platform is just to go against Trump at all costs, no matter what he says, no matter what he does, do the opposite. And this was John Fetterman essentially said exactly what I said yesterday. Here he is talking about his Democratic colleagues.
If you make these kinds of let's go for the 25th Amendment, and then then we have a ceasefire, then it's like taco. I mean, you can't have it both ways. I mean, so where we are, it's like strange to be gleeful that that we still have to accomplish some things and make these kinds of statements. I mean, I'm old enough to remember we used to root for our military, and we would all agree that Iran is the world's leading terrorism underwriter.
Used to agree that Iran was the leading terrorizer. And, just to hear him talk about how Democrats are gleeful of any bad news, it's incredible. I mean, that's what it feels like to me. A large portion of them, it feels like, wants bad news when it comes to Iran. A large portion of them. Yesterday, the market was up nearly 3%. And it felt like they want to see the market collapse. Any good news regarding peace talks, market up, oil prices down, gas prices down, anything is completely stomped on, and anything that goes gas up, oil up, and even worse than that, it feels like is celebrated by the left. And it wasn't always like that. So at what point do we bring normal back? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chuck Schumer. In 2015, this is 1985, 45 years ago, or 1985. This is 2015, 10 years ago. Chuck Schumer talking about President Obama's Iran nuclear deal. Chuck Schumer.
I examined this deal in 3 parts. Nuclear restrictions on Iran in the first 10 years, nuclear restrictions on Iran after 10 years, and non-nuclear components and consequences of the deal. And in each case, I didn't ask what is the ideal agreement. We're not in that world. I asked, are we better off with the agreement that we have before us or without? In the first 10 years of the deal, there are serious weaknesses in the agreement. First, inspections are not anywhere, anytime. The potential delay of as many as 24 days before we can inspect undeclared suspicious sites is troubling. It is true that declared sites will be monitored. That is one of the positives of this deal. But if Iran is going to cheat, it will not be at a declared site with the eyes of the world watching. It will be at a non-designated site. And if Iran is trying to cheat, it will certainly delay the inspection process as long as possible.
He wasn't done yet.
In my view, if Iran's true intent is to get a nuclear weapon, under this agreement, it simply must exercise patience. After 10 years, it can be very close to achieving that goal. Iran would be stronger financially, better able to advance a robust nuclear program. Like its current nuclear weapon, Iran's nuclear program would be codified in an agreement signed by the United States and other nations.
Guys, this is 10 years ago in 2015. And that's why it's so frustrating that there has been a complete flip on this because it's just go against Trump at all costs. These are things we should all be agreeing on. And why and how we are not agreeing, even down to my interview with the Wayne State Middle Eastern Studies professor the other day. I mean, did anybody predict that I would be saying exactly what Chuck Schumer was saying 10 years ago? I didn't even see this clip when I interviewed that professor. But Chuck Schumer is saying the same thing. There's no reason for them to have enriched uranium underground and hiding in plain sight. No. 10 years ago. The bottom line is this.
The very real risk that Iran will not moderate and will instead use the agreement to pursue its nefarious goals is too great. Therefore, I will vote to disapprove the agreement.
Chuck Schumer disapproving the agreement on the Iran nuclear deal as proposed by President Obama. And everybody used to be on the same page when it came to Iran, and where we went, only one answer for it. It's just to oppose and be against Donald Trump at all costs. It's crazy. 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. We could take your phone calls on that. Also, seemingly pretty bizarre statement by Melania Trump, the First Lady at the White House regarding Jeffrey Epstein. We'll hit on that. Top stories coming your way next. 760 WJR.
Now WJR Health Watch. Here's Lloyd Jackson.
Often people think physical therapy is just for post-surgery recovery, but its primary goal is much broader, restoring function and getting you back to the life you love.
Well, here we see a lot of orthopedic cases and some sports medicine cases. So we're going to look at what the patient needs for their lifestyle, whether it's rehabbing from a sports injury or getting back to work or just back to their normal lifestyle with less pain and better mobility.
That's Travis Somerville, one of the physical therapists at Henry Ford Physical Therapy inside the Beverly Hills Community Health Club on Southfield Road. His co-worker, physical therapist David Selleck, says they always start with an individual assessment and then incorporate what the patient's goals are.
I mean, I would say, the unique thing at Henry Ford, which is great, is all the care is one-on-one with your physical therapist. So because of that, really allows us to individualize the approach, taking into consideration some of the things that Travis said, special things that are significant to the patient. I mean, that's usually where we start to keep it more individualized.
Meanwhile, Travis says while Henry Ford has many physical therapy sites, their location at the Beverly Hills Club offers a unique high-energy gym setting that bridges the gap between clinical rehab and everyday fitness.
We have access to a lot of their weight machines, exercise equipment that you wouldn't have access to at a normal clinic.
And David agrees.
But it is kind of unique, like Travis said, just to kind of offer a different flavor.
For more information about Henry Ford's physical therapy, go to henryford.com/services/rehabilitation. I'm Lloyd Jackson for WJR Health Watch.
Sports Wrap. Weeknight 6 to 7 with Anthony and Lomas on 760 WJR. You're hearing the great voice of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR. This is the great voice of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR. Detroit. A Cumulus Media station.
This is a Fox News alert. She says the lies need to end today. I'm Carmen Roberts. First Lady Melania Trump says she was never friends with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards.
Speaking at the White House a short time ago, the First Lady said she never had a relationship with Epstein.
I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach. To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell.
And she is calling on Congress to provide a public hearing for Epstein's victims. A sweeping fraud crackdown in California where authorities arrested several people in a massive hospice fraud scheme.
We successfully executed search and arrest warrants at 10 separate locations and arrested 5 suspects so far throughout Southern California.
State Attorney General Rob Bonta of the state plans to charge 21 people with stealing more than $260 million in a scheme targeting California's Medicaid program. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says he's authorized direct negotiations with Lebanon aimed at disarming the Iranian-backed Hezbollah militants and establishing relations between the two countries. Today's announcement offered a potential boost to ceasefire efforts in the region and comes after a disagreement over whether Lebanon was included in the ceasefire deal with Iran. The U.S. and Israel say it is not. Iran insists it is. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Sponsored by Femininio Law. GetDavidGetPaid.com. Traffic and Weather is sponsored by Femininio Law. Get David, get paid.
After an accident, help shouldn't be on hold. That's why only Femininio Law has the accident response team. We work for you, we meet with doctors, we preserve the evidence. Call 855-65-CRASH or visit GetDavidGetPaid.com.
You have an accident, construction blocking your right lane on I-94 eastbound at 9 Mile. You're slow from Ross Road there. Expect delays on I-94 westbound between Wood Street. I-75 southbound at the Jeffries. We still have that project blocking your left lane. That's causing slow traffic from I-375. It's going to be that way through late May. And the Lodge southbound between Glendale Street and Webb Street. You're still torn up in your left lane there. That's going to be there for until mid-May as well. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Overcast with rain showers this afternoon. A little bit of sunshine peeking in periodically. A high of 68, cloudy with periods of rain early tonight. We'll drop down to 46. A rainy morning for Friday. A cloudy afternoon with a high of 52. Right now it's cloudy and 65 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hey there, JR listeners. Chris Alberta from Principium. Look, I have an urgent message for you today about your retirement. I don't care if you already retired, you're a few months away, or you're a few years away. You're going to be unemployed soon. And you probably don't have a pension because you are your pension. Recent all-time highs in the market. Look, you're at the top of the mountain. And now we're in an Iranian conflict. And like it or not, you could be retired as long as you were working. But despite all that, is the best time I have ever seen in my career to build you a retirement plan. The fixed rates are unbelievably good. Income models are killing it. You combine that with top-notch market management, and you're going to win. If you wait, you will lose. These rates will go down. You remember the 4% rule? My clients are using the 7% rule. They'll always have a paycheck, and that's freedom. Don't wait. Call me now. 888-800-8949. Call me, Chris Alberta, 888-800-8949.
Say hello to another great voice. This is JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni on 760 WJR.
Hour number 2 of the program here on a Thursday, April 9th. Sun is out. Spring is in the air. Did you see this 7-day forecast? I mean, it's like 4 straight days of over 70 degrees coming up. You excited about that, Beth Ann?
I am so excited. I'm so sick of the cold. I'm just ready for consistent 70s.
I know. It's going to be really nice. I haven't been outside, but it looks nice out there today. You just heard at the top of the hour, Melania Trump just had a kind of an out of nowhere press conference, or should I say statement, that she read at the White House today. It was about 3 minutes long, and it was denouncing the lies connecting her to Jeffrey Epstein. Apparently, there was a recent dump, and she says there is. She is calling the people that are linking her to Jeffrey Epstein devoid of ethical standards. Again, she spent about 3 minutes at the podium reading prepared remarks. She says the lies linking me to the Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject the mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. So she did not take questions. She also said, I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims the opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. She says, I have never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time since overlapping in social circles, which is common in New York City and Palm Beach. So chances are, if you hate the president, if you are a Democrat, you think that Donald Trump is a pedophile and Melania Trump is an Epstein sympathizer. And if you are a Republican or conservative or somewhere in the middle, I don't know. You probably believe that Donald Trump is not a pedophile and that Melania Trump had no involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. Again, we are so out of whack as a country and in our beliefs and who we trust and who we don't and who we get our news from and who we don't. You're not going to change anybody's mind about any of this. That is clear. The only thing you can do is try to get as much reasonable information about this stuff as you believe you can go by. And for what it's worth, I've said this before regarding the president and Jeffrey Epstein, and I will say it again regarding the president and Jeffrey Epstein. If over the last 10 years, entire news divisions have been dedicated to getting Donald Trump. It was just revealed that had a 5-person staff essentially required or hired to be a unit and to get Donald Trump. That's just one aspect of it. That was just revealed by Billy Bush, of all people, who knows somebody that was in the unit. If you believe that after 10 years of the most investigated person in the history of American civilization, if there was something linking him to being a pedophile or Melania Trump to this, I think it would have come out. There are over 90 indictments, tried to throw him in jail, tried to get him off of the ballots. There's been 2 assassination attempts. The list goes on and on and on. Joe Biden and the Democrats had the power of, the federal government, the FBI, the DOJ for 4 years. If there was something to, quote unquote, get Donald Trump, they would have gotten him. That's just I feel like it's a reasonable deduction of information there. If there was an opportunity to get Donald Trump, they would have gotten him. It's just my opinion. And I know I'm not changing anybody's mind at all regarding that. If you think that Trump is a pedophile, God bless you. I happen to not believe that because, as I said, they have tried to get him 6 ways to Sunday. And if they had this information, they would have used this. So just my 2 cents about it. But again, I could be wrong, and we'll leave it at that. Authorities in the Bahamas have arrested a man in relation to the disappearance of a Michigan woman who vanished while out on a small boat. WJR's Marie Osborne keeping up with the developments on this story. Hey, Marie.
Hi there, Ryan. This is a fascinating story. Now, according to multiple reports, the man under arrest is Lynette's husband. Lynette Hooker is the woman who is missing. He is 59 years old. Brian Hooker, he is being questioned by the Royal Bahama Police Force. He was on the boat with Lynette when she was lost at sea. And in a statement, Brian Hooker's lawyer said he categorically and unequivocally denies any wrongdoing. The lawyer added that his client has been cooperating with the relevant authorities as part of the ongoing investigation and would not comment further. Brian Hooker earlier said his wife went missing after falling out of this 8-foot hard bottom dinghy. It happened on Saturday, and that's when she was swept out to sea by strong currents. In a statement that he made on Wednesday, Brian Hooker thanked authorities for the ongoing search, which is now being classified as a recovery mission. And this coming up just later this afternoon, Ryan, this information is relatively new. There are reports, this from NBC News, that there's been uncovered a 2015 police report from Kentwood, Michigan. This couple lives in Olmsted, by the way, Michigan. And this is kind of a glimpse into their relationship, these two. The police report describes both of the Hookers accusing each other of assault during a February 2015 altercation. Though only Lynette Hooker spent the night in the county jail, she was arrested on charges of assault and battery and simple assault, though the warrant was denied after insufficient evidence as to who started the fight. That could not be determined. And again, Ryan, this couple is from Olmsted, Michigan. So this investigation has really gone into another level with this person being under arrest.
Yeah, and the interviews with the daughter of the victim in this case, saying that the husband, her stepfather, choked her out during domestic disputes. And again, to go out on a dinghy at night with strong winds, strong current, bad weather at night just doesn't make it seem like it makes a lot of sense to begin with, to even be out there, let alone go for a little joyride in that. So again, all you let these things play out, but I think human nature is to assume things, and I think the assumption is that they may have the right person in custody.
Yeah, the issue, though, with something like this, and we were talking about it on the air earlier, and that is finding evidence when someone's lost at sea. There's no Ring doorbell camera. There's no fingerprint evidence, maybe on the boat, maybe on that dinghy, but there isn't that kind of stuff that they use to really build a case against someone. So they're really going to they've got their work cut out for them on this one.
It's I'm not a lawyer, but what's the old saying? What you know and what you can prove are two different things.
Oh, they're so, yes, two different things. Yep.
All right, Marie. Thanks, my friend. We appreciate it. Just especially with this Melania Trump statement coming out with the Epstein, I want to give you another example of kind of sensationalized reporting. And how we are we hear a headline and we grab it no matter what. I'm gonna give you an example of that next. Recent story happened just yesterday. Recent story, and I don't think a lot of people understand the details of it. 760 WJR.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do. Prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal, book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back?
You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Vince Colonnese is redefining news talk.
I'm Vince Colonnese, host of the Vince Podcast. I'm bringing you the truth beneath the headlines of all of the nation's top stories.
In-depth interviews.
We feature news-making interviews with the top guests on the whole planet. And I'll ask the questions you only dream of other interviewers asking.
And a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day.
It's a show with an obsessive focus on what's good for America. You are going to love Vince.
The Vince Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Awareness is a start, but acceptance creates change. This April, join fellow Michiganders for Autism Acceptance Month. Help build a world where everyone truly belongs. Take the next step at autism-mi.org. Accept, support.
I'm Ann Thomas. Congratulations to the 2026 Women Who Lead class. Dr. Susie Siegel, President and CEO of Walsh College, says no matter what you do, learn the business side of things.
Because we live in a commerce world. Even artists, musicians, they're going to get DTE bills. So learning how to manage the business side of it will allow you to live your passion forever.
Special thanks to University of Michigan Health Von Voigtlander Women's Hospital for supporting Women Who Lead.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
We've got some slowdowns on I-75 northbound between the Davison and 8 Mile. Also on I-94 eastbound between Livernois and Woodward. A disabled vehicle blocks your right lane on I-696 westbound at Evergreen Road. And we still have that construction on I-94 eastbound at 9 Mile. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Partly to mostly cloudy and windy today with scattered showers as the high gets close to 70. Another round of rain may develop overnight with a low in the mid-40s and cooler with rain on Friday as the high hits 56. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Jeff Marr on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
I'm Kevin Dietz. Coming up on All Talk, it's splashdown day for the astronauts of Artemis 2. What a mission. We'll talk all about it and what's next in the space race. Plus, the Masters is underway at Augusta National Golf Club. We talk with Jordan Young from Spin on Golf. All Talk is 9 to noon. You can stream us anytime at WJR.com.
I'll open up the phone lines here, too, if you want to get in. 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. If you're watching on YouTube, hello. I want to thank everybody watching. You can subscribe to 760 WJR on YouTube. It will not cost you a thing. You can watch us each and every day, whenever you want, by the way. We are live here from 2 to 4 every day. But if you're missed part of the show, if you want to watch at a different day part, feel free to do so. We'll be right there, 760 WJR on YouTube. Sensationalized reporting, or an example of seeing a story, seeing a headline, and just going with it. Confirmation bias, information bias, however you want to characterize it. There was a story yesterday, and I think this is a pretty good example of just kind of the world we live in when it comes to information now. There was a story yesterday about the United States government automatically making males 18 to 25 eligible for U.S. military draft. You see the headline, it pops. Men will automatically be registered into the United States military draft pool. Pretty eye-popping headline, no doubt about it. And you automatically then say to yourself, okay, we're in a war. Trump is crazy. Hegseth is crazy. And we're losing against Iran. And now we're going to have the draft. These people are nuts, man. But the story is only partially true. But the context, and we lose context so many times when it comes to the quick reaction headline now. The registration for the draft was approved as part of the 2026 National Defense Authorization Act. It was passed by Congress last year. But what would you say if I told you that this was introduced under the Biden administration back in 2024? Did you know that? Was that part of the story? May of 2024, when Joe Biden was president, this was introduced. And oh, by the way, currently, and has been customary for years and years and years, almost all male U.S. citizens and immigrants aged 18 through 25 are required to self-register within 30 days of their 18th birthday, with late registration available until that individual turns 26. So right now, as it stands, and this has always been the case, not always, but for the last several decades, it was incumbent upon you, the male, on your 18th birthday, within 30 days of it, to self-register yourself for the United States military draft. Now, men who failed to self-register, considered it to be in violation of the Military Selective Services Act. You could face penalties such as ineligibility for federal programs and a fine of up to $250,000 or 5 years imprisonment. So a lot of people that did not self-register, you may have lost out on federal programs like student loan assistance, which went away in 2022. That part of the line was removed, so registration for the draft dwindled in recent years because, in large part, the option to register was removed from the federal student loan form. So if you didn't have this, if you did not self-register in the past, if you did not self-register over the last number of years, you were not going to get federal student loans. They have since removed that in 2022. Now, lawmakers worked to incorporate language about this automatic registration into this bill because of cost and legal challenges. So there were a number of legal challenges to this self-reporting. There was a lot of money that it cost. It cost about $30,000 a year. Might not feel like a lot, but we always talk about waste. Where could we limit in this ever popular budget mess that we're in? So this is a quote from the Selective Services Committee. This allows us to rededicate resources, basically meaning money, towards readiness and towards mobilization, rather than towards education and advertising campaigns driven to register people. And however you feel about this program, again, just have all of the facts about it, the whole of the story, and then your opinion can be what your opinion is. But I think so many people just see the headline, men automatically going to be registered into the United States military draft pool. Like I said, it is an eye-popping headline, and we run with it. But I don't think people take the time anymore to do the homework and dig into what you're getting so mad about. I mean, I think this feels like a pretty legitimate step. And again, introduced under the Biden administration in May of 24. Men 18 to 25 already had to self-register. Men within 30 days of their 18th birthday had to self-register themselves. If they did not, they would suffer potential penalty. And what the administration and what lawmakers on both sides of the aisle, by the way, in 2024, when this was introduced, several Democrats, most Democrats on board with this as well, back before Donald Trump was the president, back before even the election of November of 2024, was that, hey, these men have to self-register. There's been a number of legal challenges to this and a lot of money spent on campaigns, advertising campaigns, to get the word out that you have to self-register. Let's just make it an automatic thing. It just feels like this is one of those things that, 18 months ago, we all agreed upon. It feels like this was the natural next step. Everybody agreed on it. It got passed earlier this year. But again, just the selective headline is what bothers me so much about where we live today in this information vacuum that we're in. Ken in Livonia, you're on 760 WJR. How you doing, Ken?
Oh, doing great. And I just wanted to mention something that I think everybody needs to be aware of, because I'm sure people forgot. This came up a lot back when Trump ran the first time, and that was the military did want to institute the draft at that time. The Democrat Party, not only did they support instituting the draft, but they wanted to include women. But this is the number one reason I did vote for Donald Trump, is that he was 100% anti-draft. And I think that we need to educate people about that. Me personally, I don't support the draft. If it ever came up, forcing people who might not be qualified is not a good thing.
By the way, Ken, I'm up against it here, so I got to cut you short. But I too am against a draft. There's no doubt about it. But that's not what this is. This is taking people from forcing them to self-register to automatically being registered. And
I don't support that.
Well, a lot of people did 18 months ago. And ultimately, now, depending upon which side you're on, we're going to just do the opposite. If we agreed on it 18 months ago, now we're going to do the opposite. Oh, I love this country. 760 WJR.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Hey there, JR listeners. Chris Alberta from Principium. Look, I have an urgent message for you today about your retirement. I don't care if you already retired, you're a few months away, or you're a few years away. You're going to be unemployed soon. And you probably don't have a pension because you are your pension. Recent all-time highs in the market. Look, you're at the top of the mountain. And now we're in an Iranian conflict. AI might replace your job. And like it or not, you could be retired as long as you were working. But despite all that, it's the best time I have ever seen in my career to build you a retirement plan. The fixed rates are unbelievably good. Income models are killing it. You combine that with top-notch market management, and you're going to win. If you wait, you will lose. These rates will go down. You remember the 4% rule? My clients are using the 7% rule. They'll always have a paycheck, and that's freedom. Don't wait. Call me now, 888-800-8949. Call me, Chris Alberta, 888-800-8949.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Kevin Uretsky. This afternoon, First Lady Melania Trump forcefully denying any involvement with Jeffrey Epstein, telling reporters at the White House.
The false smears about me from mean-spirited and politically motivated individuals and entities looking to cause damage to my good name, to gain financially and climb politically, must stop.
The First Lady said she never flew on Epstein's plane, never visited his island, and was unaware of his crimes and those committed by Ghislaine Maxwell. She also said it is not true Epstein introduced her to Donald Trump. Iran's supreme leader quoted as saying his country will seek retribution for attacks on it. Meanwhile, oil continuing to fall, trading under $100 a barrel. This is a Fox News Alert.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties, a trusted source for rental property management for over 3 decades. They handle the advertising, cleaning, and repairing of your rental. Let the experts at North Bloomfield Properties manage your investment property. You can enjoy your weekends again. Visit northbloomfield.com. We've got some slow traffic on I-94 eastbound between Livernois and Woodward. Also on I-75 northbound between the Davison and 8 Mile. A disabled vehicle blocking your right lane on I-696 westbound at Evergreen Road. A couple of construction projects slowing you down. 75 southbound at I-96. We're seeing some stop and go from I-375. More road work blocking your right lane on I-94 eastbound at 9 Mile. You're slow from Morass Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Cloudy with periods of rain early tonight, a low of 46. A rainy morning for Friday, a cloudy afternoon with a high of 52. Turning out to be a lot more sunny than they had predicted. Right now, it's partly sunny, 65 degrees. I think the sun's going to stick with us for at least another couple of hours. I'm Rich Bluzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
We're Michigan slip and fall lawyers, and we fight negligence. Negligence that leads to needless injuries. When you visit a store or a property, you have every right to assume it's safe. And if it's not, you have every right to recover full compensation.
Anything like that. But when you're building a product that you know is being used by children and you are designing it to be as addictive as possible, you don't get to just step back and say, not our fault.
It's Can't Miss Radio.
Not every at-bat will be magic. There will be days where reality hits. That's how baseball works.
The Daily Dose of Deets.
What would Jesus do if he were in our shoes right now? Would he be on social media tearing people apart? Or would he be doing something very different? Listening, loving people, even the ones who see the world completely different.
First thing out of the gate on All Talk with Kevin Dietz.
We're 44th out of 50 states in this country in 4th grade reading. So I want to ask you something. How is that acceptable?
Weekdays at 9 on WJR. Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning. with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
I want to take a break from some of the heavy stuff that is happening in the world, and I want to tell you something good, because there is a lot of good happening in our area, and to help us talk about it, let's bring in two of my favorite guys, Mark Hollis, the Rocket Classic Tournament Director, and Jason Malone, the Chief Development Officer for College Career and Beyond, the Midnight Golf Program. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. How are you today?
We're doing great. I know Jason is also.
Awesome. It is so great to...
It's my birthday today.
Oh, my gosh. Jason, happy birthday, man. I didn't even get you a gift, though. I didn't get you anything this year.
This is my gift. This is my gift, man. This is the gift. This is the gift.
Well,
Mark, how's it going, my man? How are you doing, sir?
We're doing great, Jason. Not only is your birthday, we're getting ready to sell a big anniversary, 25 years.
Let's talk about that. And Mark, let me come to you first on this, because I know you at Rocket, you're so proud to support the College Career and Beyond, the Midnight Golf Program, the Rocket Classic. There's so much going on. Just talk about your involvement with this initiative as well.
Well, they're one of the cores of what the Rocket Classic is all about, and giving over $10 million and $850,000 of it to youth organizations like Midnight Golf. And Jason and the team appropriately have changed the name in a way to College Career and Beyond, and it really demonstrates the impact that they've had on Detroit youth over the past 25 years. You look at the folks that have come through this program, the young kids that have grown into adults. They have made leaders in this community and folks that have gone on to college and great things.
Well, you cannot be around Jason and not be inspired, not be motivated, and just a bolt of energy, Jason, you are. Talk to me about 25 years, and talk to me about what we're going to have here later this month on April 30th.
Ryan, I pinch myself, man. I really do. Growing up in this city proper, right? And being exposed to the game of golf and just dreaming and being a dreamer, and, luckily having a mother who was dedicated to being an amazing mom. We started a youth program based around golf 25 years ago with 17 kids from one of our local housing projects. And today we've put well over 3,000 young people, all from Detroit and Metro Detroit, to 166 colleges across the country, right? And so we use golf as a vehicle to deliver all the pertinent and necessary skills that young people aren't receiving these days, right? And you think that, for 25 years, my mother has been leading the charge of shaping the lives of young people based off of my experience and her experience with me growing up as a young African-American golfer in the city of Detroit. And to see where we're at today, a brand new facility right down the street from you, Ryan. You still got to come down and check us out. Mark's been down there, and so to see where we're at right now, it is unbelievable. And we are super excited for our 25th gala that's going to be held at the Hudson, the new Hudson downtown. And Detroit's own Tony Award winning, Emmy Award winning actor David Allen Greer, Cast Tech's own, is going to be our host. You can see him on NBC. He's the head show. Dr. Dennis is the show that he's on NBC, and he's hosting our gala for us. Yeah.
That's pretty incredible. The 25th year, the gala on April 30th at the Hudson's, with David Allen Greer and, Rocket behind you. It feels like the world is lining up for our young people, and it's just such a special time. And it's nights like this that happen as well that allows you guys to continue to do the great work and impact the lives that you have. And Mark, let me start with you on this. Just your involvement here on a night like that, knowing how much will be raised that night and how much impact that will have on the lives of young people in our area moving forward. I know that's impactful to you.
we're going to raise a lot, and Rocket is very blessed. The Rocket Classic is very blessed to be part of it. And if you walk over to that facility, it's literally a couple blocks away there, Ryan. You walk in and you meet Jason, and your whole life just lights up just being in his presence. And then when Miss Renee walks in, it goes to another extreme. The two of them have such a positive impact on not only the kids, but everybody that's a part of it. So when we come together at the department down here at Hudson's for this event, it's going to be one that's going to propel this so that we're celebrating the next 25 years. And we're going to talk about the stories of the young kids that Jason, Renee, and everybody that's part of College Career and Beyond is impacting these kids. It creates hope. It creates mentorship. It creates exposure to opportunities. And it's not just golf. It's way beyond golf. Golf is just the connecting point that they've brought together in this city to do such great things.
Jason, talk to me about what nights like the gala on April 30th at the Hudson's mean to what you do, and let everybody know where they can be a part of this.
Absolutely. Well, first, let me say this. I got to find some money. I got to raise enough money. Mark needs to be our spokesperson. Everything that he just said there. Hey, Mark, I need to put you on payroll, man. That was pretty impressive. No, in true honesty, everything that Mark says, I truly believe in. Thank you, Mark. Rocket, the entire Rocket company has been behind us for a number of years. They have been supporters. They have been, a company that has poured into our organization, not just from a financial perspective. We've had more than 100 young people intern at Rocket companies over the last, I would say, 10, 15 years now. And it's because of their due diligence and their leadership in helping not only transform our city, but also, give the people from this city opportunities, especially the young people that are coming up in an industry that they dominate. It says a lot about the company. It says a lot about the character of the company. And because of that, we're extremely grateful to be a part and be a supporter, a receiver of their support for many, many, many years. And we're super excited for what's going to happen. So to learn more about the gala, right, go to 25yearsofunstoppable.com. That's www.25yearsofunstoppable.com. And our goal for this gala, Ryan, we want to sponsor the 2027 cohort of our program. The goal of that is to raise enough money that evening to sponsor it. And it's going to cost us roughly a $1.2 million to sponsor a student. These young people come from 80 different high schools across southeastern Michigan, particularly mainly from Detroit. And it costs our young people roughly $4,000 a kid. They come through the program free. We get them their senior year in high school. We follow them through their high school experience, and then we make sure that they get to college and then graduate from college. Our last year's graduating class, we had 100% of young people get accepted into college from our program, and 98% of which ended up going to a four-year institution. So we're really proud of that. And so to sponsor a young person, we really need to sponsor young people. So far, we got 50 sponsorships from our community, from Metro Detroit. We're super blessed to have that. So thank you, guys.
25yearsofunstoppable.com. Jason Malone, Mark Hollis, I think the world of both you gentlemen. Thanks so much for being here, and maybe we could do this again ahead of the event. How about that?
How about over
great to me. I think the world of you,
College
Ryan.
Career and Beyond? We'll go over and hit some balls with them.
You and me, Mark. Let's do it.
Let's do it. It's open. Done.
All right,
Done.
fellas. You got it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You got it. You're the best. 760 WJR.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. Rory McIlroy hasn't played competitive golf in almost a month, and you would never know the way he's playing today.
Chance to tie for the lead. 30 feet downhill, he is looking easily 5 feet left of this hole, putting back towards the pond. Starts it way left, and here it comes, racing down the hill, breaking to the right. The line is good. The line is real good. It's perfect. It was a birdie on Sunday last year, a different-looking birdie here on Thursday this year. McIlroy to 5 under par, and he's tied for the lead.
Brian Katrick, the call at 15 on Sirius XM. That is now 3 straight birdies for McIlroy here in the first round. He wants to become the first repeat champion at the Masters since Tiger Woods 24 years ago. Rory and Sam Burns lead the way at 5 under. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Masters on Westwood One.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Middle of the afternoon in the first round at the 90th Masters, 2 players at the top of the USPS leaderboard. USPS Ground Advantage. They mean business. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. Sam Burns in the clubhouse. Rory McIlroy about to join him. Burns with a 5 under 67. McIlroy with 2 holes remaining. He is 5 under par. A number of players at 3 under, 2 back. Kurt Kitayama, Jason Day, and 2018 Masters champion Patrick Reed all shoot 69. Still on the course at 3 under. Aaron Rye, the par 3 contest winner yesterday. Ludwig Oberg is through 7. Scotty Scheffler, the 2-time Masters champ, is through 5. An eagle at 2, a birdie at 3 for Scheffler. And how about 66-year-old Fred Couples, 2 under, making the turn, 3 back. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Stand Up to Cancer.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Weather Seal Home Improvements. Curious how much your roof should cost? Find out fast at weathersealhomeimprovements.com. Do a roof trade-in and get 50% off roof installation. That's a great deal from Weather Seal. Find out how much your roof should cost at weathersealhomeimprovements.com. Construction blocks your right lane on I-94 eastbound at 9 Mile. That's causing stop-go traffic from Vernier Road. Those emergency repairs will be with us through Friday. We still have that disabled vehicle on I-696 westbound at Evergreen. That's blocking your right lane. It's a slow go on 75 northbound between Kniff Street and 8 Mile. Another wreck on I-75 northbound at 14 Mile. That's blocking your right shoulder. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Windy with scattered showers today as the high gets close to 70. More rain may develop overnight with a low in the mid-40s and cooler with rain on Friday as the high hits the mid-50s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Jeff Marr on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Oh, baby, here we go. Steve Courtney's in the house. I pulled him away from the golf coverage.
I love my Masters, man.
Oh, man. I had buddies texting me this morning, watching online Jack Nicklaus coming out and, shanking the...
You know what? Who cares?
Oh, big T, right.
Then you go on social media and, I saw one post. Why are people applauding? That drive sucked.
No, get out of here. Really?
It's Jack Nicklaus. He's 108.
I thought it was
God love him.
I thought it was pretty funny when he was like 4 and had a laugh about it.
Right. I mean, please. Just the whole tradition of the Masters. I just absolutely love it.
Gives you goosebumps.
Well, check the leaderboard, and it's packed coming up in just a bit. Meanwhile, your Detroit Tigers, ladies and gentlemen, in action as I speak. They're looking to break the 4-game losing streak. As a matter of fact, early, and I mean early, in this MLB season. The Tigers have already had 2 4-game losing streaks. Right now, they and the Twins in the land of 10,000 lakes, wrapping up the 4-game set. They are tied 1 apiece. They are just now going to the top of the 8th. How the Tigers get their run? That would be a Gleyber Torres sacrifice fly.
It's Gleyber Day.
Jack Flaherty got the start, 5 2/3, 5 hits, 1 run. He walked 3, struck out 6. The run he gave up was a tater. So all things being equal, not a bad start.
I mean, it's just brutal out there. And I don't know if, look, I know Minnesota's playing in the same weather, but I think it was pretty cold in Minnesota. And I'm not going to blame it on the weather, but I do think it takes these guys a little while when you're playing in cold weather to get going. Framber Valdez, Tarek Skubal. I mean, you lose 2 games in a row. There will not be that many times for the rest of the year that the Tigers will lose back-to-back Skubal Valdez starts. I'm going to go on record right now. I said earlier I'm not in the predicting business. I am going to say that the Tigers will not, for the remainder of the season, lose back-to-back Skubal Valdez starts.
That's a bold prediction.
They're not going to do it.
But I'm with you.
Yeah, baby.
Meanwhile, to Augusta we go. The 90th Masters, ladies and gentlemen. We were discussing the fact that it is a loaded leaderboard right now. Sam Burns, the young fella out of LSU, he is at 5 under off the course. How about this? Rory McIlroy, the dramatic victory for him at Augusta a year ago, completing the Grand Slam. He's off the course at 5 under. You've got a slew of players at 3 under, including Patrick Reed, who is making his way back to the PGA Tour, leaving LIV. Justin Rose, the crafty veteran, he's at 3 under. Scotty Scheffler, number 1 in the world, he's at 3 under through 7. Shane Lowry. Now, if I could choose anybody to play a round of golf with, it'd be the Irish.
Really? Tell me why.
Well, because I think it would be an adventure. He would make me laugh. I would tend to think I would make him giggle a little bit. And we could have a pint or 2 during the round.
I love that.
I would absolutely love it. Xander Schauffele, he is at 2 under. Justin Thomas trying to find his game. He is at 2 under. Gary Woodland, one of the great stories in golf. He is at 2 under par through 7. And we know about his battle with PTSD, coming off the brain surgery and whatnot. And he says sometimes it envelops him, but yet he's already won on the tour this year. Tommy Fleetwood, I root for this kid. He has yet to win on the PGA Tour. He is at 1 under. Then you take a look at some of the other notable scores that are not so good. Bryson DeChambeau. There was a lot of folks thinking the way he was playing on the LIV Tour that he may be a contender. Well, he's got some work to do. He is +4 off the course. We are also talking about John Rahm. He is not having a very good first round either. So
+4 for him, I think.
I believe so. Jeez. There he is. Then here's a wonderful story. Jose Maria Olazabal.
Love him.
60-year-old Spaniard, 2-time winner at Augusta. He started off wonderfully. At one time, he was 2 under through like 5 or 6 holes. And then the course caught up to him. He finishes at 2 over. So it is going to be a very exciting weekend of golf, as it always is at Augusta. And the good news is there is no rain in the forecast.
Let's go. Vijay Singh +7 too. I didn't know he was still playing. Glad he is, though.
Neither did VJ. By the way, welcome back, Cade Cunningham. A double-double in his first game back after sitting out 11. Why not? He
looked like he never missed.
13 points to go along with 10 assists. The Pistons dispose of the Milwaukee Bucks 137-111 in the regular season home finale. Jalen Duren, 21 points, 9 boards. Pistons win for the 6th time in their last 8. And how about this? The Detroiters at 58-22 can win 60 games for the first time since 2005-2006 by winning against the Charlotte Hornets and Indiana Pacers. Me, you, and 3 other dudes could take care of those teams.
You know, you think about where this team was a couple of years ago, and you know, whether it's the NBA, whether it's college basketball. I mean, the Michigan, 8-24 2 years ago, and you win the national championship. That's probably the standard in college now at big time programs. Right. How long is it going to take you? Well, if Dusty May can do it at Michigan, and if you look at what JB Bickerstaff has done, he and Trajan Langdon here in a short period of time to win essentially, let's just round ball it up, 60 games after winning 14 a couple of years ago. It's unbelievable.
And truly, one of the great NBA stories over a period of time. And we also welcome Isaiah Stewart back. Beef Stew missed the previous 13, finishes with 8 points. Big hockey game for the Red Wings tonight.
Let's go.
They play host to the Philadelphia Flyers. They'll drop the puck around 7 o'clock. The Flyers are looking to extend their 3-game win streak. The Red Wings, they would just like a win streak of anything. Eastern Conference wild card. Boston, 96 points. Ottawa with 92. Ottawa with 4 hockey games left as well. Then you've got Columbus with 90. Then the Red Wings, one of 3 teams at 89 points.
Sad.
The Islanders and Capitals all of a sudden have crept back into it. The Red Wings, 4 games left. They'll host New Jersey on Saturday afternoon. They'll finish on the road at Tampa Bay, at Florida. Quickly, just to let you know, the Ottawa Senators, they have the Florida Panthers at home tonight. Then they go on the road for the Islanders, the Devils. Then they host Toronto. 2 teams that have been eliminated. So they've got a pretty easier
Hey, the Red Wings blew their chance.
Of course
they got to go 4-0 just to get
help,
just to have a chance, just to remotely have a chance. Steve-O, we love you, buddy. We'll talk to you tomorrow, my friend. I want to thank Beth Ann Long. Want to thank Danielle Mason. I want to thank Craig Mauger with the Detroit News. He joined us today. We talked a lot about state politics with him. I invite you to go back to our YouTube channel, 760 WJR. You can find that. Just rewind back to the 2 o'clock hour, and you can enjoy that. Thanks for making us part of your day. The Mitch Albom Show is next, 760 WJR.